Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss the importance of elasticity of demand. We know that elasticity of demand can be either equal to 1, less than 1, greater than 1, 0 or infinity. If ED is less than 1, then it is quite obvious that the good which we are talking about is a necessity. But on the other hand, if ED is greater than 1, then that good must be a luxury. So how ED, different kinds of elasticities help a nation, help the government. So we are going to see all these things. So now let's see. First of all, it helps in business decisions. For example, if there is a particular businessman and he wants to know that whether he should charge high price from his consumer or low consumer, then in that case, if the elasticity of good is less than 1, then that good must be necessary. So in that case, even if he charges high price from his consumer, the consumers will be compelled to pay that price because that is a necessity. The consumers cannot avoid that commodity. So it helps the businessman. Elasticity, after knowing the elasticity, they can charge the price accordingly. They will not be able to charge high price for a luxurious goods. So for elasticity having greater than 1, they must charge lower price. But on the other hand, if the goods having elasticity less than 1, they can be easily charge a price which is more than a reasonable one, because the consumer must have to buy those price since it is a necessity. Now coming to second point, determination of public utility. Now we know that there are certain products like gas, water, transportation. These have inelastic demand, means these are necessary. So government must keep these things under its control, because if these things are given to a particular person who is having a monopoly market, he will charge exorbitant prices, high price from the consumer, and the consumers will be compelled to pay that price since it is a necessary. So if there are certain products like gas, water, it is quite obvious that the government should keep these things under its control only. So see what's written, the industries of these products should be taken over by the government. Otherwise the monopolist, they will control over these things and they will charge high price, and should be declared as public utility to avoid high price, as by the case of a monopolist. So if these things will go under monopolist, these will create lots of trouble in economy. So in order to create so that if these things do not go to a monopoly, then it will be a better option. So government normally keep these things under its control. Number third is taxation policy. There are certain goods which may have inelastic demand, that is which are of necessary to life. The government can easily raise the taxes since the commodities are necessary. So by raising the taxes, the government can increase its revenue because people will buy those commodities. Similarly, we can see that there are many habitual goods, tobacco, smoking and all. So government increase its taxes because in case of habitual goods, people will be consuming those goods even if the taxes increases. So if the demand is inelastic, government will charge high taxes, impose high taxes. But on the other hand, if the demand, elasticity of demand is greater than 1, that is elastic, then the government will not be able to charge, yeah, to impose high taxes. So these were the first 3 points. It helps a businessman while determining the public utilities like gas, electricity, water, and then taxation policy of the government, because if the goods is a necessary, the government can easily impose high taxes, sales tax, GST. Now determination of factor pricing, another very important concept. Like I'm talking about that, suppose demand for labor is inelastic. Demand for labor is inelastic means we require a lot of labor. Now if the demand for labor is inelastic, means the labor is a necessary, and since now the labor is necessary, so we need to pay a higher price since the demand is inelastic. But on the other hand, if the demand is relatively elastic, means laborers are not required now, so even if we pay them less, they will be doing work. But on the other hand, if the demand is inelastic, means requirement of laborers is much higher, so we need to pay them high. So we can see elasticity of demand helps in the determination of wages and share of each factor of production. A factor means I'm talking about labor. A factor with an inelastic demand commands a higher price as compared to a factor with relatively elastic demand. So if factor is having inelastic demand, means it is a necessary and high price must be paid to that factor. And the last point is international trade. Now we know a trade can be considered as international only if there is an import and export between the two countries. Now what we can do while calculating the elasticity, if I know that the product is inelastic, means it is necessary, I should try to export those products more and more to other countries, since it is a necessary and they will be paying me higher price because it is a necessary. So if elasticity of demand is greater than less than 1 for a particular product, then it must be exported as much as possible. But on the other hand, if the elasticity is greater than 1, means elastic, it means that the product is highly elastic and the product is a luxury. So it is better to not to export those products because the foreign nations are not going to pay you higher. So in this way, international trade also helps through elasticity. We can also fix the price for import and export of various commodities. So these were the 5 points which we must take into account. Business decisions for a businessman, elasticity is very much helpful. Determination of public utility, taxation policy for the government, determination of factor pricing like in case of a labor, and international trade. So thank you so much. I hope you like this video.